Hey guys, welcome to this 100 most popular algorithm series. I'm back with another video. In this video, we'll be taking a look at lead code number problem number 17, which is a letter combination of a phone number. Again, it's a very popular question, as you can see with the number of likes. It is a medium category problem. Right, so let's take a look at the problem statement. So we are given a string containing digits from 2 to 9 inclusive. We are told to return all possible letter combinations that the number could represent, right? And the answer could be in any order. So this is the numpad which we are so used to seeing, right? So here every letter from 2 to 9, against every letter, every digit we have a few letters, right? And then for example, if we are giving digits 2 and 3, we need to return every combination that these two digits represent, right? So they can represent AD, AE, AF, and so on and so forth, right? And you can also start with B, start with C, and so on. So that is our task. So how should we go about solving this? So typically in these kind of problems, where we need to produce every combination possible, it is a classic example of backtracking. Okay, so let's say here we need to pick one letter from this particular item, this particular digit, let's say A, and then we move to 3, and then we append every possible scenario to this particular item. Then we backtrack to 2 again, then we pick another item which is B, then we again move to 3, we append all the combinations possible, then we backtrack again. So as you can see, this is a classic case for backtracking. Now backtracking generally involves a lot of recursion, so I've just created this explanation in order to understand how to solve this problem. So we'll obviously use recursion, as I mentioned. So there will be few recursive loops. Here we have the table where the mapping is there, digit versus the letters. Now what we need to do is, in every recursive loop we'll pick one digits from this string. So the first recursive loop will pick digit 2, the next one will pick digit 3, and we also need the third recursive loop where there is no digits left, which will actually break the recursion. So every recursive algorithm needs a recursion base case, as we call it. So this particular third recursive loop will actually break this recursion, and then it will trigger the backtracking. Right, so let's quickly understand the example. So in this case 2 and 3, so the first recursion will first pick the first letter for this digit 2, right? So that is A. So we will pick the first item and then pass the control to second recursive function. Now that recursive function will pick the first item from its bucket, which is D. So it will append AD and pass the control to the third recursive function. Now that recursive function has really no digits left. So the job of this recursive function is to take this output, whatever is the combination that is generated, and then add it in the output array, and then return the control back to the second recursion. Now the second recursion will then apply its next combination, which is AE, and again the cycle gets repeated. It will move here, the third recursive function will add this in the output, then again the control will move here, and similarly F, the process will get repeated. Now at this point the second recursive function has exhausted all its letters, right? So then it will pass the control back to the first recursive function. Now that recursive function is not done yet, right? It still has 2 more letters to go. So the whole process is repeated for letter B, and then the combination BD, BE and BF gets generated similarly, and then the process for C gets repeated. So I hope that makes it clear how these recursive functions will help us produce the output that we need. This is the output that we need. Right. So let's begin coding of this algorithm. So the first thing that we need This I've already copied separately. So we need this mapping, right, somewhere in the form of code. So here what I've done is I've created a dictionary, Python dictionary, where against every digit I've used it as a key, and against that I'm using the corresponding letter combination as a value. So this I'll refer it in my problem later. Right. So typically every backtracking algorithm has this kind of structure. So there is one backtrack function which will do the bulk of the work, right? So this is the backtrack function which will do bulk of the work, and the parent function just calls it with the initial conditions, right? So first let's write the code of the parent function, which is the main function. Now the main function's job is firstly, as always, we'll do the sanity check of the inputs. So we'll check if not digits, the digit is not present, or the length of digits is less than equal to 0. In that case we really don't have anything, so we'll just return an empty array, empty output. Right, with that out of the way, let's focus on the main part of the logic. So we'll have an output array which will hold our output. Now as mentioned, the job of the parent function is really simple, right? It just needs to call this backtrack function with the initial set of values. So I'll call the backtrack function. Now that function, what do this function need, right? So it definitely needs this digits array which I got, so I'll then pass it. It also needs to know at what, so this function is the recursive function, right? So it needs to know at which level I am currently at. So that I will represent it with the index. So here I will accept digits, I will accept an index at what location that I am in. So that right now is 0 because I'm just starting the recursive loop. Then I also need to track this current combination, right? So which the combination that gets populated in the current recursive path. So I need a combination which will represent my current combination. So here to begin with, I really have nothing, right? I have not really started my first recursion yet. So at this point, my combination is empty string. And last but not the least, we need an output. So we will pass this output to this function, so which it will collect all the outputs here, and then the parent function will just simply return the output back, right? So yeah, so the job of the main function is done. Now we need to focus on the backtrack function. Now typically the backtrack function just has like two main things. It has recursion base case, right, which is used to break the recursion, and then it has recursive logic, which will actually call the backtrack function again. So here we have a recursive logic, here we have the base case which will break the recursion, right? So let's first focus on the base case. So our base case is this index can be used into break the recursion, because we know that this index, if the index goes beyond the length of digits, right, as we mentioned, the third recursion here will break the third recursive function will break this recursion, right? So where there is no digits left, so exactly that is the same condition that I'm checking here. If the index is greater than length of digits, which means we have no digits left, so we know that we need to break the recursion. Now in that case, one thing we need to do is we need to append the current combination that we've collected to the output and return, right? So when the recursive loop is over, in that case, whatever the combination is collected, I'll just append it in the output, right? So that is the base condition. Now we'll focus on the recursive logic. Now in every recursive item like this, right, what I need to do is first I need to figure out which is my current digit, then I have to fetch the current letters corresponding to that digit. Okay, so my current digit is this, because index is pointing to the current digit. So this is my current letter, current digit. Now I need to fetch my letters against that. So they are stored in this dictionary. So what I'll do is I'll refer to my dictionary like this. Now this will return the value, right? Whatever is the digit, corresponding value I'll get here. Now what I need to do is, for every digit in this or rather for every letter in this combination that has been returned, that is my current combination, I need to call the backtrack function. So I'll just call the backtrack function, and also need to build my current combination, right? So that the current letter, so this will be A, B, C, right? So let's say if my digit is 2, then this will be A, B and C in 3 different iterations, right? So I need to make use of this letter somehow in the current combination and pass it along to the next recursive function. So here the next recursive function will definitely need the digits. Now the next recursive function, for next recursive function, the index will be incremented, right? Because it has to focus on the next digit. So I need to increment the index. Again, now we need to pass combination here. So the combination, whatever is the combination that I got, I need to append the current letter to it. Okay. So that my current, I add my letter and then I pass it to the next recursive call. And lastly, I need to pass the output. So yeah, that's it. That's the kind of code that we need to write here. I think we are done. Yeah, let me run the code. Hopefully there are no compilation issues. Yeah, so we got the output. As you can see, the order doesn't matter, but luckily we got the same order that is required. So yeah, we are good to go. Let's submit our code. There you go. So that's how you solve this problem. It's a backtracking solution. It's one of my favorite, because it's just mainly focusing on this part, and the rest of the logic, once you figure out this part, and then the actual solution is very shorter in size. So yeah, I hope you like this question. Stay tuned for more questions like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.